Welcome to Fraser Mac Gaming. I'm Fraser Mac. This is the latest video in my Fraser Mac Gaming news series. I go through all the latest news for the Switch, cover the games releasing on everyone's favourite hybrid system, and I have the occasional rant when someone really pisses me off. We recently had a Summer Direct giving us more information on Smash Bros Ultimate, which doesn't even come out until December. Don't get me wrong, I'm really looking forward to Smash Bros Ultimate. It looks awesome. But we've basically had 2 directs in a row with an hour of footage all about Smash and nothing else. But let's move on. I'm itching for some news on what else is coming to my Switch for the rest of 2018 and beyond. A Nindies Direct is heavily rumoured to be coming in August, and that got me to thinking, what are my top 10 indie games I want on my Switch right now? So which games could be announced as part of a Nindies Direct? Which indie games would I like to see on Switch? And which games have been waiting on release date for quite some time? Find out after this. Before we get to my top 10 indie games I'd like to see on Switch, there is one game that has a release date that we've all been waiting for, and that is Undertale. Yes, Undertale is coming out on Switch through fangamer.com in September, and that's for all regions. They're going to do a beautiful collector's edition and physical edition. Unfortunately, if you're in the UK, you're going to have to pay some delivery charges. It doesn't look like it's getting a UK physical release at the moment, but we're all excited. Undertale will be coming to Switch in September. The rest of the games on this list of my top 10 are basically a wish list, so take it with that mentality in mind. I'm not being realistic here. These games are due to release on Switch. Maybe they don't have a release date yet, and some of them it's more a bit of wishful thinking. But the first game up is from Team Meat, and it is Super Meat Boy Forever. The follow-up to Super Meat Boy was announced as part of last summer's Nindies Direct. It was given a 2018 release date, but despite some teasers on social media, we've still not got a release date for Super Meat Boy Forever. It looks like Dr. Fetus is up to his old kidnapping tricks again, quite literally, and it might be taking some inspiration from the Taken movies. It was a hit. What can we do for a sequel? Have someone else get kidnapped this time. Yeah, Meat Boy and Bandage Girl have been getting busy, so it's their kid Nugget's turn to get saved. Super Meat Boy Forever has been created with consoles in mind and should be just as devilishly difficult as the first game, but it's supposed to have a new control scheme and randomly generated levels. Initial demos at events in 2017 got some really good feedback, so I can't wait for more details. I have 2 copies of Super Meat Boy and I've still not played it yet, so shame on me. I am looking forward to a serious Meat Boy fest though, once Super Meat Boy Forever drops on Switch sooner rather than later hopefully. Because yes, I just love me some meat. The next game up is another that was shown as part of the Nindies Direct last summer. Yep, it's Murphy's Law. Online multiplayer games are all the rage right now. If you believe the hype, the main studios are feeding you. Here comes the Morpheus moment from Matrix. They say that because they can make more money from you playing multiplayer games. That's my opinion at least. But Murphy's Law, it does look fun, it's pretty original, and yes, it's a very interesting take on the genre. The unique dynamic part of the game, as far as I know it's unique, involves your character changing size and shape depending on how often you get shot. So yes, particular body parts get bigger and smaller based on you getting shot there. It's a team-based shooter, so you're aiming to fill up a giant statue by hitting the opposition. You can end up with some truly weird-looking characters, and their size can lead to you being able to go places others can't, or take you on a truly terrifying Ant-Man Godzilla-esque city-destroying form. It looks like there could be a whole host of interesting tactics involved as the game progresses, and people get used to how to play it. Your unique shape brings new abilities, and I just hope the online code is going to be solid when it finally arrives. There have been some teases on social media about imminent updates on the release date, but as of yet, Murphy's Law hasn't released on Switch and we don't have a release date. It looks fantastic, it looks really interesting, it looks like something that would be great fun to play online with your friends or locally, so I can't wait to get my hands on it. So Murphy's Law should be arriving on Switch at some point this year. If you're a GTA fan and you've been itching for GTA 5 on the Switch for some time now, then I've got something for you that could bridge that gap. VBlank brought us a very cool retro GTA inspired game in Retro City Rampage DX. It had a very cool limited edition which now goes for some serious cash on eBay. VBlank have long teased their follow-up game Shakedown Hawaii. Their social media has been very busy lately promoting its imminent arrival, but as yet we're still none the wiser to its release date on Switch. Shakedown Hawaii is the same open world top-down 2D action, but it's expected to be bigger, badder and way more destructive than Retro City Rampage DX. It focuses more on ripping big business and their dodgy business practices, as well as white-collar crime. It's also got an awesome tagline, business in the front, bodies in the back. I love it already. Hopefully we'll have more news on its release coming soon. You should all hopefully know who Matt Thorson is by now. He's one of the geniuses behind Celeste, which is obviously the indie darling of this year, along with Hollow Knight. Before Celeste released, he did actually get famous and get a lot of notoriety for Towerfall Ascension. It was released as part of his Matt Makes Games company, and Towerfall Ascension obviously couldn't be further from Celeste in terms of game genre, but it has the retro pixelated 2D art style, which is obviously something you'll be familiar with in Celeste. Towerfall Ascension is an action-packed 4-player archery combat party game. It's a hell of a mouthful, it sounds kind of weird, but the reviews tell me that it works. I've not had the joy of playing it yet because it's not on Switch yet. We all love retro indie games on the Switch, and the buzz from Celeste is bound to make Towerfall Ascension a big seller on the system. It's had various updates during its life cycle, including more players, arenas and characters, so a Switch version would likely be the most complete version available. Hopefully we'll get more news on its release sometime soon. We're moving into the wishlist territory now with this one. Spelunky is a game that's been out for 10 years on various platforms. I didn't know anything about it until Limited Run Games announced during their E3 presentation that it was getting a physical release on PS4. If you want to know more about Limited Run Games and our E3 presentation, then check out the card in the top right of the screen right now. Spelunky is a 2D dungeon crawler. It's got some roguelite elements. It's mixed with a platformer. So for a kind of Mario fan like myself, kind of lovely retro kind of action platformer type fan like myself, this is what I like. I'm a sucker for games like this, these kind of cute, charming 2D games. So I'm seriously tempted to get it for the PS4 when Limited Run Games release it. But I'm really hoping out, on all hope that a Switch release could happen. According to attackofthefanboy.com, the game designer Derek Yu tweeted out, and I quote, "Getting lots of requests for Spelunky on Switch. I have a Switch, it's awesome, definitely want to put something on it." So Spelunky coming to Switch, there's a chance. Spelunky 2 is due on PC and PS4 later this year. It's not been announced for Switch yet, but I'm thinking a Spelunky 1 and 2 combo would go down very well on the hybrid system. Here's hoping Derek Yu and Mossmouth Games have a little surprise for us up their sleeve. Those of you who have been to the channel regularly and watched my videos before will know I'm a big fan of shoot 'em ups. I love shoot 'em ups. Don't call them shmups though, that just really annoys me. I'm always trying to cram in a few onto my lists and checking out new ones as they release on the Switch. Surprisingly, I've not actually reviewed too many yet, but shout out to Infinite State Games and Rogue Aces fans. That's going to get a multiplayer soon. I've done it again though, and I'm squeezing Super Hydora onto this list because Abbey Light Studios have announced that developer Loca Malito will be bringing Super Hydora and Curse Castilia EX to the Switch. It's had a physical release from Limited Run Games, and from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool. I'd love to see it on Switch and add it to my ever-expanding collection of shoot 'em ups. It's a classic looking 2D shoot 'em up. It's got 21 levels, they're broken down into 35 sub-levels, 35 bosses, there's 100 enemies to do battle with, there's all sorts of awesome features. It's got a mini-game robot chase, there's route selection on the levels, there's weapon selections and power-ups for each level, there's secret endings, there's achievements, there's a ranking system. What more could you want? Oh yeah, a CRT monitor effect. Here's hoping Super Hydora shoots its way onto Switch soon. Changing up the action a little bit now, there aren't too many tactics-based games that get me excited, but very few of them look as beautiful as the watercolour Scandinavian-inspired Bad North. It was of course highlighted as part of the Spring Nindies showcase, so it won't feature in a possible Summer Nindies Direct, but I'm eager to know when I can get my hands on it. I got to play a demo of it at EGX Rezzed, and I met one of the devs, Richard Meredith. You're probably sick to the death of me playing, these games and talking about them on here, but yes, it has really cool slow-mo matrix kind of tactics, which is just an awesome mechanic. It's far more fluid. I love the action in games rather than turn-based tactics, so it's really cool. You're obviously defending your island from Viking hordes, and you've got to position your troops and kind of think on your feet, really. The difficulty is likely to increase, and there'll be more characters than what I've had a chance to play with. But I've been following other social media, and the game just looks amazing, and there's been serious hints release date is coming soon, but we don't have a date yet. Please just give us a date, Raw Fury. Devolver Digital have made a massive statement on Twitter that they have over a dozen releases for the Switch that are still to come this year. They've teased that there are more details to come soon as well. What could those games be though? We know games like Minute, The Messenger, and I Hate Running Backwards are filling some of those slots. They've also just announced Gris, a beautiful game that looks like a 2D version of Journey. But what else? Could some of their previous titles make it onto Switch? Like Hotline Miami 1 and 2? According to Devolver Digital, Miyamoto banned the Hotline Miami games from ever coming to Nintendo platforms because he hates the music. Those cheeky scamps at Devolver Digital, they know how to work the PR-y thing on social media these days, don't they? Seriously though, the Hotline Miami games are cool, bloody, top-down 2D shooters that I'd love to play on my Switch. They may be controversially violent and slightly gory, but Nintendo does seem more open to adult themes in games these days. So, please let them come to the Switch, Devolver Digital. We're on the penultimate game now of my top 10 indies I can't wait for on my Switch. And we're on to the big hitters in Indie Land. Shovel Knight needs no introduction and is one of the highest rated and biggest selling indie games on the Switch. As part of the Nindies showcase last summer, Yacht Club Games teased us with a final campaign add-on for Shovel Knight. Yes, Shovel Knight King of Cards was announced then, and it was due to come out early 2018, but their website gave a rough release update for the latter half of 2018 after PAX East in April this year. Everyone who owns a copy of Shovel Knight on Switch already will get the update free, and they will get the chance to play through 4 new worlds as King Knight. You'll be on a journey to defeat the 3 kings, with a game featuring improved platforming, new bosses, and lots of new weapons and abilities. I can't wait. This is the last game on the list, and it could be the biggest in terms of sales and in potential hype for the Switch if it actually come out as part of a Nindies Direct. Yes, it's the visually distinctive Cuphead. It's racked up sales of over 3 million up to August 2018. It's won several awards, and it has a seriously fanatical following. We just love it on Switch. I know it's an Xbox console exclusive, but yes, the feedback may have been for PS4 that hell would freeze over before it came to their platform. But seeing as Microsoft and Nintendo have been so chummy lately on things like crossplay, I'm holding out hope that there's a chance. As far as I know, it's meant to be a proper exclusive on Xbox, but if it is a 1-year console exclusive, it came out September 2017, so that means it could come out this year in September, potentially. I've not played Cuphead yet because I don't own an Xbox, but as you know, I love shoot 'em ups, I love all kinds of other shooters and platformers. Give me a unique and glorious art style like a Disney movie or cartoon from decades ago, all those things I grew up with as a kid, and you have yourself a customer. I'd buy a digital copy, I'd buy a collector's edition or 3, I'd buy an amiibo, I'd buy collector's cards, just give me it all. It might be a stretch to get it on Switch, but I think Cuphead is probably one of the most requested indies for the platform, and it would break serious records if it came to the Switch. That's why it's the biggest title I think on this list, and it's the one I'd love to have the most. So those are my top 10 indies I want on my Switch right now. Like I said at the start, this was inspired by the rumours of an imminent Nindies Direct, and a lot of these games, are maybe not likely to feature, but I'd love to play them on my Switch. I came up with so many indie games that, I'd love to come to the platform, or I want to know when I can play them. So I'll probably be doing lots more of these videos over the coming months. I came up with almost 50 games, really quickly that haven't got release dates yet, or aren't on the system, or really getting rave reviews on other platforms, so I think they'd be fantastic on the Switch. We've been very lucky with the indie games we've got on Switch recently, games like Iconoclast, Dead Cells, Salt and Sanctuary, also Cosmic Star Heroine. But I'd just like to do a quick mention for a couple of games that got release dates very short notice. So Freedom Planet from Galaxy Trail is coming out August 30th. And also The Messenger from Sabotage and Devolver Digital. It's also coming out August 30th. They're two awesome retro-inspired games that I'm really excited for. So hopefully we'll get a chance to play them and possibly show them on the channel soon. I did a lot of research before putting this video together, so I want to make some special mentions. SwitchIndieFix.com, Geek.com and ProvenGamer.com. I'm loving your work. I'm going to put links down below, so thanks for everything you're doing. Go check out those games, check out the websites. If this is your first time watching my videos, hit that subscribe button and please turn on notifications so you won't miss any of my videos. Thanks for watching, and you can check out the rest of my social media. I'm at Fraser Gaming on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you on the next video.